amid Red Sea as Houthi attacks increase. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on Osrc television. I am Oyewumi Ayeni Bara. Ondo State Acting Governor Lucky Aida to assess the current national and global economic realities and the reasons behind the decision of the present administration to rearrange the state's fiscal priorities, targeting the growth drivers in a bid to fix and reflect the economy towards keeping it afloat. Presenting the 2024 appropriation bill of 384.533 billion naira to Ondo State House of Assembly in Akure, the acting governor said the estimates tagged budget of economic resilience was prepared on the premise of stakeholders' contributions. Aida-Tuwa said the projected revenue is largely a function of some major macroeconomic fundamentals contained in the 2024 to 2026 medium-term expenditure framework and the fiscal strategy paper earlier passed by the House of Assembly. Government House correspondent Wahab Ankole reports that the budget will be funded majorly for statutory allocation, internally generated revenue, grants, and value-added tax.
Presentation of year 2024 budget speech.
Christened Budget of Economic Resilience, the 2024 appropriation bill of 384.533 billion naira was presented to the Ondo State House of Assembly by Acting Governor Lucky Aida-Tuwa following a motion by the majority leader of the House, Oluwole Ogunmolashoyi, and seconded by Abayomi Akinruntan. The acting governor said the objectives of the 2024 budget will be achieved through full automation of all forms of revenue collection and expansion of the tax net with data-driven tax administration, leveraging on donor and development partners' support in funding key intervention programs, creating employment and jobs in agribusiness and tech-related enterprises.
The objectives of 2024 budget are as follows: to invest in human capital development with renewed vigor, to rejig independent revenue collection for attainment of financial resilience and sustainability, to optimize resource inflow and expand fiscal space locally and globally, to expand the scope and reach of social safety nets and economic support programs to the deserving citizens of the state, to develop agricultural value chain and promote expansion of agricultural productivity to enhance food security, to stimulate rural economy, to ensure effective transportation system for economic growth and development, to address environmental degradation occasioned by climate change, to adhere to development policy and ensure fiscal discipline and safeguard lives and livelihood in a secure environment. Total being 384 billion 533 million naira.
The acting governor reaffirmed the commitment of the present government to grow every sector of the state's economy while improving the living standard of the people.
Our efforts are providing measures in the form of food items, cash transfers, salary adjustment, payment of pension and arrears of gratuity, provision of farm inputs, etc., to our people to cushion the effects will continue.
Aida-Tuwa said infrastructure development has 24.8% of the budgetary provision, which is the highest, while 21.4% goes to public finance and education takes 12.4%. He appreciated the support of the 10th Assembly for the executive and thanked people of the state for their prayers for Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu.
I want to specifically thank you for your support for this administration and also for your unrelenting prayers for our governor, especially during this challenging moment. The same vein, I must thank the good people of Ondo State for their outpouring of affection and supplication for Mr. Governor and for the peace of Ondo State. The able God who has started the good work of healing in our governor's land will bring it to perfection. Amen.
The Speaker, Olamide Oladiji, after receiving the budget proposal, said the event is in tandem with the 1999 Constitution as amended.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. I have it.
The bill, after sailing through the second reading, was committed to the Committee on Finance and Appropriation. From the Ondo State House of Assembly in Akure, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, Ondo State House of Assembly has committed the 2024 State Budget Proposal to committee stage just as it scaled second reading. Appeared over by the Speaker Olamide Oladiji, Director of the Committee on Finance and Appropriation, to do justice to the budget and submit to the House in the next sitting, while noting that the proposal is for the overall interest of the people of the state. He charged the committee to do justice to the bill. The lawmakers who are debated on the appropriation bill observed that the budget will add value to the people of the state and equally make the state to be viable economically. They affirmed that the budget has good vision and mission in its framework to make people enjoy the dividends of democracy as it cuts across all critical sectors. In other news, the Ondo State government says it's committed to the completion of the Sunshine Food Processing Company and the egg processing plant. Acting Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who received in audience the Chairman, Project Committee of Sunshine Food Processing Company, Engineer Ife Oyedele in Akure, said the state government will not shy away from efforts at improving the living standards of the people. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole completes the story.
The delegation of the Sunshine Food Processing Company Limited was led to the office of the acting governor of Ondo State by its chairman, Mr. Ife Oyedele. The people were in the Sunshine State to meet minds with the acting governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, on the ongoing egg power plant project at Emurele in Owo local government area of the state. The project, inaugurated by Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, is a public-private partnership arrangement. The chairman, Sunshine Food Processing Company Limited, Mr. Ife Oyedele, said the importance of the plant to the socio-economic prosperity of the state is numerous.
To serve as a revenue earner for Ondo State, to increase productivity of the people, to increase employment and provide employment for scores of our young people who are busy running around without much hope. And then to ensure that even our farmers and who produce egg can have a place to, and then it can be a source of revenue and foreign exchange for the country. The country spends a lot of money to import egg powder, but once this project is completed, will be a net foreign exchange earner. This factory is intended to utilize 500,000 eggs a day. 500,000 eggs a day. As at the moment, we are only trying to make sure that we get all, through the help of Mr. Odo, to get all our farmers into a cooperative and then get all of the suppliers of egg. Because 500,000 eggs a day is a lot.
The acting governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who said the completion of the project is of utmost importance to the Akeredolu administration, said a number of factors had militated against its early completion. Aiyedatiwa said the state government will leave no stone unturned towards the actualization of the project.
And if that come upstream, will be exporting. Apart from local consumption, and our poultry farmers, they already have a ready market to supply their products. So huge benefits, not only by the employment and internal revenue generation for the state. On our part, as a government, we are committed to the completion because the conception at the beginning by this administration under the leadership of our governor, it's a great conception. And you know, when a woman conceives, you want to give birth after 9 months or about that time. So there's always a delivery period. So we have envisaged a delivery period, completion period this time around. But we're having these delays, which we are going to be looking into in terms of finance and other variables.
The acting governor said the government is resolute in making the state an investment haven. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
The Osrc Media Group owner of Osrc TV, Orange 94.5 FM and Sunshine 96.5 FM, has reaffirmed its commitments to humanity. Chairman of the media group, Kunle Adebayo, restated the promise during its service of carols and night lessons held at African Church Ebenezer Cathedral, Akure, the Ondo State capital. Omoriola Ngwiji has details.
It is another season of the year that Osrc Media Group brings together ministers of God, choirs of different denominations to mark the birth of Jesus Christ. Osrc Media Group Choir opened the floor with a song titled Ife Olorun Senior, while the chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria, Ondo State, Reverend Father Anselm Olugunwa, took the first lesson.
Your head, and you shall bruise his feet. The word of the Lord.
Various soul-lifting song ministrations dominated the carol service with the 9 lessons from various verses of the Holy Bible, of which one was taken by the Iralepo of Isekon, Oba Oluwagbemiga Ajimokunola.
And the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord.
The guest minister from God Liveth Worldwide Ministry, Dr. Soji Gbadebo, maintained that the coming of Jesus Christ is to save mankind and reconcile us unto God, hence the need for all to embrace this opportunity and make their ways right before God.
The coming of our Lord Jesus Christ is to rescue man, is to deliver man, to bring man from the
Dignitaries at the event lauded OSRC Media Group for impacting society through the message of Christmas.
Wow, it's a very, very beautiful experience, and I really urge more people to really put hands, join their hands together to actually do things like this.
We look at this season as a season of joy, season of merriment. I think to the Christians, we are telling them that Christ himself is joy.
Others called for humility, exemplified Jesus Christ.
It's all about celebrating Jesus Christ. But one of the most important things is humility. The only Savior we have under heaven is Jesus Christ. If it is true that you accept Jesus Christ, you must run for sin.
Earlier in his welcome address, Chairman, OSRC Media Group, Kunle Adebayo, who was represented by a member of the top management, Sir Steve Alabi, thanked God for making the event a reality with a promise that the group will not relent in serving the good people of Ondo State and beyond.
Apart from the fact that we are broadcasters and journalists and engineers, men and women of faith, every week we churn out programs that deal with the faith of the people. So this is one opportunity for us to express our social responsibility to Christians. During Islamic festivals, we do similar things. We bring preachers to the studio to preach to the people. So this one is what we do for the Christians. And I think it's a good thing.
At the event, staff members of Osrc TV, Orange 94.5 FM and Sunshine at 6.5 FM, Alalaye expressed their delight in identifying with the Christian community. Omoniola Biji, OSRC News.
Now, the federal government has declared Monday and Tuesday, December 25 and 26, 2023, as well as Monday, January 1, 2024, public holiday and New Year's Day celebrations. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunjojo, who made the declaration on behalf of the federal government, felicitated Christians and all Nigerians at home and in diaspora on the occasion of the festivities. Dr. Tunjojo stressed that peace and security are critical prerequisites for economic development and prosperity. The minister assured that the federal government, under the leadership of President Bola Tinubu, will continue to put in place effective measures for the security of lives and property. You're still watching the news at 7. Supreme Court affirms Peter Mbah as Enugu State Governor. This and more after the break. Please stay. Glad to know you're still there. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc. On YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. The Supreme Court has affirmed the election of Peter Mbah as Governor of Enugu State. A 5-member panel led by Justice Mohammed Garba held that the Labour Party and its candidate Chijioke Edioga failed to prove the allegations of non-compliance with the electoral law. The court also dismissed the allegation of NYC certificate forgery, one of the bases for which the Labour Party governorship candidate wanted the courts to disqualify Governor Peter Mbah. Members of Nigerian Labour Congress (NFC) and Trade Union Congress (TUC) have marched in solidarity for embattled Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Also, youth, civil society organizations, labor unions, and members of the Hausa community in the state. They converged in front of the government house in Port Harcourt, the state capital, a few days after President Bola Tinubu intervened in the political crisis rocking the oil-rich state. The supposed crack in the relationship between Wike and Fubara split lawmakers in the House, with 27 of them decamping from the PDP to the ruling APC, a party in whose central government Wiki currently serves as minister. However, a resolution seems to have been reached after Tinubu had a meeting with the warring parties on Monday. The federal government has apologized to Nigerians over the current scarcity of naira, assuring that it was not an attempt at restraining the populace for accessing cash. Minister of Information and Idris made this disclosure during a media briefing on President Bola Tinubu's administration's achievement in Abuja. The minister gave an assurance that the Central Bank of Nigeria was working to make new notes available to the public for spending. It said federal government is aware that there is discried by Nigerians over the scarcity of naira notes, but CBN is already working for more new notes to be produced. Idris assured that the Tinubu administration has taken necessary steps to ensure that Nigerians experience a better year in 2024. The federal government has resumed payments of arrears to beneficiaries of the Empower program. The beneficiaries were being owed some month's salary. The former President Bola Mohammed Buhari administration. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, said the payment of arrears to beneficiaries, which started on Wednesday, will continue until the last person is paid. Empower is a scheme set up by then-President Muhammadu Buhari on June 8, 2016, to address the issues of youth unemployment and help increase social development. The program was temporarily suspended after President Bola Tinubu took over from Buhari, but Edu explained that the present government wants to settle the baggage from the previous years before resuming the program again. The Vice President Kashim Shettima and Nigerian governors have set up committees on crude oil theft and management as well as economic affairs. This decision was taken during the 138th meeting of the National Economic Council, which was held virtually. The committees will be headed by Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak and his Imo State counterpart, Hope Uzodinma. The Economic Matters Committee is tasked liquidity management and inflation, medium-term investments and growth, fiscal transparency and accountability, as well as state of emergency of food production for 2024. The federal government has pledged more fireworks in the coming year for quick resolution of all pending international boundary disputes. Director General of National Boundary Commission Adamu Adaji. The Commission plans to make all its zonal liaison officers active to handle activities in the zone for prompt action, as well as encourage states and local councils to establish a functional boundary committee. It stressed that the Commission would engage in more field works for fiscal investigations towards making the boundaries more visible on the ground, as well as engage more in sensitization. He added that Nigeria is liaising with our Nigerian counterparts under the Joint Standing Committee and carried out reconnaissance exercise to recover all the old pillars placed between 1906 and 1908. President of African Development Bank, AFDB, has marked the fourth recipient of the Obafemi Awolowo Prize for Leadership. The Obafemi Awolowo Prize for Leadership, a prestigious perennial international award, follows a meticulous nomination and screening process by a selection committee made up of exceptional Nigerians. The announcement was made at the media briefing on the unveiling of the recipient of the 2023 Obafemi Awolowo Prize for Leadership. Chairman Selection Committee, Chief Emeka Nyauko, said the accolade showered on additional not only acknowledge his achievements but also functions as a compelling encouragement for others to strive for excellence in leadership. and good governance. He stressed that as former Nigeria's Minister of Agriculture, additional implemented progressive changes, including reforms in the fertilizer sector, which effectively eradicated corruption, guaranteeing that farmers directly reaped the benefits of government-subsidized fertilizers. And now to the foreign scene. Over a year after Ukrainian forces drove out Russian troops from the eastern town of Liman, it is a struggle for the remaining residents to stay warm, with most people resorting to burning wood in the absence of gas and reliable electricity. The few remaining residents are preparing for a difficult winter as snow falls and the temperature drops. Adirunke Kwalawole has more.
In the devastated town of Liman, eastern Ukraine, another basket collapsed fire with volunteers gathered and live by the road. The few remaining residents are preparing for a harsh winter. It is more than a year since Ukrainian forces drove out Russia occupying troops. About 90% of Liman's infrastructure has been destroyed, and burning wood is how most people stay warm.
The electricity is hopeless. There is no gas. The electricity comes and goes. It doesn't depend on people. It depends.
Lima is only about 14 kilometers from the front line. It lies just north of Ukraine's core and sea heartland, where fighting has been on the way for nearly a decade since Proxy forces aided by Moscow rose up. Nearly 20,000 people lived in Liman before Russia invaded Ukraine last year and occupied the town from May to October. About a quarter of population remains most older people. Vladimir Tashenko left but ended up returning.
Why leave? I have lived here and left for Dnipro. And now I am home within my own walls, and it's easier to breathe and live.
Danger is never far away. In July, a barrage of Russian rockets slammed into the town center, killing 9 people. A dejected mayor said Liman cannot be rebuilt while fighting continues nearby. Adirunke Kwalawole, Osrc.
Allows east-west trade, especially of oil, to use the Suez Canal to save the time and expense of circumnavigating Africa, and put some shipping companies to reroute vessels. Akatunde Akishimola has an update.
More shipping companies are set to avoid the Red Sea following attacks on merchant vessels by Houthi militants. German container line Hapag-Lloyd is among the latest to say it will steer clear. 25 of its ships will be rerouted before the end of the year. Hong Kong's OOCL is making a similar move. Ships will have to take longer routes to avoid the hotspot, and that could roil supply chains worldwide. The Suez route accounts for about 12% of global trade. Cost will jump too, with the price. Much now depends on the International Naval Task Force being set up by Washington. The Pentagon says over 20 countries have signed up to take part, though some did not want to be named. Vessels from the US, British and French navies have already shot down Houthi drones in the area. UK Foreign Minister David Cameron has also met his Egyptian counterpart to discuss the crisis.
It is absolutely essential that those maritime corridors, that the free movement of ships, of goods, of manufacturers, of oil, of world trade, that they keep going.
The crisis grew out of the war between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas, which runs Gaza. Yemen's Houthis have threatened to target all ships heading to Israel in response. Akintunde Akinshimola for Osrc News.
And that concludes the news, but before we go, a quick look at one of the top stories. We told you that Ondo State House of Assembly has committed the 2024 state budget proposal to the committee stage. This has scaled the second reading. Aprinari, the Speaker,